I think as a woman, we feel a lot of pressure. I was a mom young. I had my first kiddo at 23. And now I'm in this fortunate position right now where you see the trajectory of my career taking off as my kids are taking off, for sure. But, one of the big challenges that really stunted my leadership for a long time was just that, being a working woman in business as a mother. And it was the amount of guilt and pressure that is thrown at you if you are talented and you do want to pursue big things, but you have a kid and you should be there all the time. And, all those things. It was sort of the juggling of, and some of it's internal and some of it's given to you by your parents and your grandparents, and some of it's given to you by society. But I have a child who's on the autism spectrum, and I have another one who has ADHD. So it was never really straightforward for us, right? We had a lot going on with our kiddos. And so we've got my ambition and sort of that I was born with. I'm not going to be a stay-at-home mom necessarily, but I also really loved my kids and wanted the best for them. So I think there was always that. I definitely held my career and my success at bay for a really long time because I couldn't see myself succeeding in that big of a way when they were having their own challenges. So I think that I started to take off later in my career. But one of the positions I took along the way, I made a deal with them. I said, my kiddo's on the autism spectrum. He's at a really critical time in his development where he needs to get all the help right now because his brain is still elastic and we can make changes and he can have really good quality of life. And I want to do good work for you guys. And so I said, if we could just make the agreement when I take this job for you that I can come in early and leave early so I can take him to occupational therapy every day, then I think I can balance everything. And it worked for a while, and they agreed to it for a while until at some point they said, it's really unprofessional that you, as a woman in this position, are spending so much time with your family. Like, you really need to be focused on the work. And I just thought, okay, we're done. And so that was actually in some ways a little bit of a step backwards. I switched into working for them in a different capacity as a consultant and left my position there so that I could control my world. But I think there's a lot of that happens when you're a woman coming up in business, especially when you've got kids and when they're a priority for you, being able to have the support to do both. And so I think for me, going the self-employed entrepreneurial route gave me the power. And so that was helpful, but it took me a little while to kind of find my footing as a mom and as a professional in this world.